Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing? Welcome. Welcome to Good Vibes. Chill out and not play any games today.
Good vibes, hang out.
Yeah, I think, I guess it was me because I think we have something planned to play soon, but today
We
I
do.
was just like, I want to just not. It's for the moment. We don't actually ever like just chill out and talk to anybody. We always just go with our games, but I feel like towards the beginning of the year would be a fun time to just kind of discuss what we've been up to, what we plan to do. Um, Especially since I just came back from vacation, hanging out over there. I still see the chair on your side, just without me inside of it, and it makes me sad. The microphone is still there too.
It is.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, hello everyone. We have, oh my goodness, we have Shell Shock, Vicey, Sonic Joe, Lotus Star, Joseph Bayer, Jaden Buck. Wow, we got a lot of friends today. How's it going?
This is like a little fireside chat.
Yeah, we're just chilling out here right now. I had to redo also because I still need to get some of the assets redone for the new logos and such. Just here and there. But oh yeah, I didn't put that in here. I'm gonna probably just work on this while we're chatting because I had to put our new little labels on the side too.
Oh, yeah.
Good gracious.
I'm gonna
What
put
was
on
that
the
even called?
video and watch you do it.
No.
I'm watching.
But how are you all doing? I have gotten back just last weekend. Oh gosh, sitting right there.
Ah!
Just shove it in your face. We're doing this live, as we tend to. How was the audio, by the way? This is my chance to check this out because I had some audio issues just a little bit before stream, but thankfully I just solved it with just an unplug, replug it back in. But
We gotta flip you. You're mirrored right now.
I mirrored.
You're mirrored.
Oh,
Give it the old horizontal flip.
I don't think I've touched this in a while. The specific screen, I've only used it like a couple of times in the past because there's not really been any moments of any lulls in which we don't just, hang out like this. Flip. No, not center. Flip. I'm on this side now.
Very good. Oh wow, my snap was actually right on time.
You just knew.
Thank you, Pokemon Anime Matt, for the sub.
Pokemon Anime Matt, thank you. You just reminded me that we are doing just that soon. The
Oh yeah.
Pokemon Special, the little send off series for Ash. That's gonna be available in Japan tomorrow or
It
tonight.
technically comes out tonight.
Night, my goodness.
But tomorrow, me, Daniel, and John will be doing a discussion. We're going to do a discussion for the next 11 weeks, one on each episode. And on the 11th episode, it'll just be kind of a big send off to Ash and Pikachu as we see them go for the final time.
We're winding down on their journey. It's gonna be surreal because just the fact they're going back to like Missy and Brock and just doing a special send off just for them. That's like, man, it puts it in perspective for sure.
I uh I was watching quite a bit yesterday. I am in the middle of the World Coronation Tournament. Spoilers, by the way. I'm not going to get into specific spoilers. That's just the area of the anime I'm in.
Hmm.
Um, and I was watching some of the battles with Ash, and I started getting emotional just knowing that like we're getting down to it.
There's not many of these battles left now, like for real.
Yeah. I I'm excited for you, Daniel, to get to the World Coronation Tournament. They were not pulling any punches with that. The
Oh, they
battles have been mwah.
they going all out with that, huh? I've noticed even just in journeys. I'm in Master Journeys now. Just how dynamic battles have gotten with their animation. They go hard with it.
Oh yeah. They leave no stone unturned as far as all that goes. Thank you, Bowser Day, for the gift sub to Lex.
Hey,
Also, hello, Lex, if you're in there.
hello. Thank you so much. Was that a hype train? Oh my goodness.
I
Hello.
think it is. We're at
69%. Very nice. Very nice crew.
60 nice.
60 nice.
Everybody aboard the 60 Nice Express. But yeah, I don't know what time we'll be doing that, but if you're a patron, obviously you can tune into the live recording. I'm sure the actual episode will go up later that day because we don't want to be too far behind on these.
Hmm.
So if you want to watch the final 11 episodes alongside us and then tune in to our discussions, that'd be a fun way to do it. I just
Yeah.
felt it was worth celebrating.
Yeah, of course. I've been a part of this series since Indigo League. Um really been I was a part of it for a long time. I think I'd stopped watching probably after Diamond and Pearl, like at least religiously watching it, and then I've kind of just hopped in back and forth for certain series. I came in for like XYZ series for how good that animation looked. Lola was fun, and obviously for Journeys, I've been kind of falling behind a little bit here and there, but at this point, I've just been kind of powering through ever since we watched like a whole marathon of it while I was over there.
Journeys has been like episode of the week for a lot of it, but in a good way. Like there's a lot of just fun single episodes like
Mm-hmm.
the Magikarp jump and the the Slowking episode. And a lot of some of those actually get follow-up episodes. There's actually a sequel to the Slowking episode. Um
Oh, yeah.
so like you could call a lot of Journeys filler, but they call back to a lot of it very frequently. Um, it's just a really cozy show, and to
Mm-hmm.
put it in a John terms. But once you get to like past Darkest Day and into Master Journeys slash Ultimate Journeys, like, and they really start ramping up the World Coronation stuff and goes Mew Project um
Mm-hmm.
testing, like they really start ramping up plot and they start doing it very quickly.
Yeah, I've noticed. Especially when Ash is getting into a lot more of those. The Well, I'm still at the part where he's doing the battles. He's like at rank 30 something right now, and it's the battles ramp up. The because you're not. It's cool because you're seeing so many different characters from previous generations and previous regions, like the champions, gym leaders, and at this point we have a lot of legendaries in the anime too. Like they're not even shy about that. It's just
hmm
the series where you see all the legendaries essentially, which is kind of amazing. And it's also just like, well, maybe they're not all that rare after all.
One in particular, because there's one episode with Go and a particular legendary that goes in a direction I was not expecting.
Or was that the one we saw together?
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, that actually happened.
I was not. I thought that was gonna be a fake out. It was not. They're not playing around.
they are they're going for it. Give
And I
me.
like that about Journeys. Journeys is doing a lot of things that the original anime would have just not done.
Mm-hmm.
And they've always had that like concept where like they can't let Ash do anything too spectacular because then how do you can't backpedal from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh,
But
So now they're just doing whatever they want.
and in retrospect, it makes sense that this is going to be like the send off series because they really are just encompassing everything that Pokemon has been for the last several generations, even seeing past characters that he's traveled with. Um, but yeah, for those who haven't seen it, it's been really good. Hold on, just
Even
a moment. I'm gonna switch this because I'm trying to find out where this label is. So the screen is gonna go to the 4 player we did the other day. Uh, Hang on, just a moment. Oh, there's the intro. I didn't see that on there. That's also there. I'm grabbing
hello.
something. Hey,
Woo!
welcome. Oh, that's what that is. Okay, we're gonna go back now. Hi, everyone.
There was one episode I'm excited for you to get to, Daniel, that was I thought was really funny. Basic premise is that Team Rocket starts a podcast
They started a
and
podcast.
and shenanigans ensue.
Oh my gosh.
It's a very, very funny episode.
I'm
I'm
gonna.
kind of hoping that's their send off. Like they quit Team Rocket and start a podcast.
This just wouldn't that be something? After all this time, they found their calling in life, just talking about all the Pokemon they could have caught. Oh my god, a podcast though. That's so funny.
It's a very funny episode. Uh, God, there was also that episode with Grookey that was just an episode of Old Enough, which came right after we had just watched a bunch of episodes of Old Enough.
Yeah, that's exactly what I messaged you about it. Like I just saw an episode of Old Enough, but it was in Pokemon.
Grookey is like slowly walking towards Go at the end, just bawling his eyes out.
It's just like one of those kids that are just like, mom.
It's so funny because they always break down once they see their parent at the end. Like for a lot of them, they're usually just fine for most of the errand, and then they see their parent, and it's just like every emotion
It
they
just
have
comes
comes out
out.
at once. Very, very funny.
Oh, I never seen Old Enough on Netflix until you told me about it, and I was like, this is this is pretty funny, because
It's a fun show.
they just released a new season when I was there too, right? Was that just a new one that came out?
Yeah, so like these are repackages of episodes that released in Japan because this show's been going on for like 30 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they're just like picking specific episodes, translating them, and then releasing them on Netflix.
Oh, okay, I see.
But it's kind of a big thing in Japan. I mean, the whole concept of sending a youngster on their first errand on its own is a big thing. But the show itself is like a staple of Japanese television.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I came home and I asked my stepmom if she's ever heard of it, and I had to describe it because obviously it's not called Old Enough over there, and she was like,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, I've seen that show before," and I wasn't able to introduce him to anything new because she's already seen it before.
You got to show her the episode of Grookey
Oh,
going on
the
his
Pokemon
errand.
episode. It's just like, wait a minute, that was
You
super
watched
intentional.
it. You have context for it now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that was just one part of a vacation that we had together. I think I've
Mhm.
spent a total of an entire day's worth just watching Pokemon with you and Michaela, because there were those nights where we just kind of marathon some of the movies, which were really good.
Oh yeah.
And we did. Yeah, I woke up the next day. Michaela was watching Indigo League. I was like, I'll watch Indigo League. It was pretty much the entirety of Ash going through the Indigo League, like the Asheville Championship. And later in that day, I was like, oh, we should probably just watch Journeys because me and Brandon are about the same place. We got to catch up, and so we watch a lot of Journeys as well. But that was a lot of fun. I felt. Usually I feel like I should be doing something, but I haven't had a day where I just did nothing but watch Pokemon in a very long time.
Sometimes it's nice to just melt and veg out
Mm-hmm.
because you know, we had some fairly late nights and we're on different sleeping schedules. So there was a couple times we just woke up tired. So having a day where we just did nothing was quite nice.
I think, yeah, throughout that day, we slept at different intervals of watching movies or episodes and woke up and we're just like, oh, I guess I'm here now.
We watched like Mewtwo Strikes Back, and I think I was the only one that survived the whole movie.
Oh, I woke up and Pikachu was crying, and I was like, "Oh no, I missed everything." But I watched everything. I watched in most of the intro at least. I forget where I passed out.
You and Michaela fell asleep right around the same time, and I'm just over here like, "That's Mewtwo."
Oh, Mewtwo, and then I was like,
Mewtwo!
"It's Mew." The best Pokemon where you see. I remember the part where Mew's on the windmill, and it's like Mew, Mew, and Michaela and I were like, hey, "He's a good boy."
That's the best part of the whole movie. Like, after that part, you can just turn it off. There's no reason to watch the rest.
My brain turned off. That was why I went to sleep. I saw the best part. I woke up when Ash was already dead. Oh,
Ash dying in Pokemon movies is almost like a meme now. I mean, it's only happened twice, but
Ash
like,
just going in front of a Pokemon and doing this is just it's just par for the course. I'm gonna miss this the whole Ash block because nothing can get past him.
it doesn't even like make sense in the second part of I Choose You. Like, they never explain what actually happened.
Oh
He
yeah, that's
just
true.
went to another dimension for a little bit, and then he came back.
I've ceased questioning all of that. Wait, there was a question in chat over here. Eddie on Twitch is saying, "You don't mind me asking, are you part Japanese?" No, I feel like I am, but my stepmom is full-blooded Japanese. Therefore, my three little half sisters are all Japanese, Mexican Japanese, half and half. Because my dad's from Mexico, so I speak a lot of the Japanese culture around this house because I am surrounded by it with my family. My sisters are basically going to grow up to be trilingual, which is pretty amazing. And they're
Wow.
already like, what? They're my oldest one. She is in third grade right now. So yeah, it's I'm jealous. I want to speak Japanese too. Uh,
I think that Xeon and Felix are doing that right now, and I'm like, you want two more people? Like, I've tried learning Japanese so many times. Uh, Second time was self-taught because I wasn't a high schooler anymore.
mhm.
Obviously, it sucks so much because I got so much Japanese out of high school, 3 straight years, and then in my senior year they canceled the program, and I was like, I wanted to finish this. Thanks.
Brandon Bovia, hello in chat, also is saying it's not that hard. You just need motivation. We gotta motivate you, Brandon, and then myself.
You learn your 5 vowel sounds, realize they never ever change, and pronunciation becomes a snap.
hmm Yeah, I think if I can just go to Japan with my family, if they ever decide to let me go with them, I can probably learn a little bit more the language. But Duolingo looks really interesting, and as far as like getting introduced to it.
I would say if you're gonna learn Japanese, learn your hiragana and katakana on the side
hmm
because you're gonna want to learn that and know it as quickly as possible.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I it's just getting started probably, and then sticking to it.
Brandon says the thing that most English speakers struggle with is tone and emphasis. You hear that a lot when you watch anime, especially dubbed anime. Like, I was watching Pokemon, obviously, and there was an episode where Ash went to Alola and he started talking to Professor Kukui, and he's like, Professor Kukui, and I'm like, no, it's Kukui.
Kukui, kukui. Yeah.
It's stuff like that. It's just you can't like overemphasize any singular syllable. And then
hmm
there's some words where the way you intonate a certain sound has to change, like ame and ame. They're the same word, but they have two different meanings depending on how you pronounce it.
hmm Yeah, that's a hard thing with language, and especially with you're doing like dubs and such for translating to other languages. It's hard to unify everyone's pronunciation exactly the same, especially for something that might be a bit more foreign. And yeah,
Oh
there's
yeah.
there's been some instances of that I've seen on different games. Genshin Impact, which has a multitude of different different regions based on like Germany or China or Japan. Uh, Pronunciation is really difficult to get across. Like the main area for the place based on Japan is Liwe, and it's really hard to pronounce that right because there's a dictation that I don't think non Asian speakers have that I definitely don't have for pronouncing Liwe. And a lot of people will just say leeway, and it's not like the word leeway. It's a there's a certain like emotion that I don't have a grasp on that you see happen. It varies wildly between all the voice actors within the game. But yeah, it's just something that you gotta get the hang of to really get the diction, that all that stuff right. I can't even speak anymore because I'm talking about words I can't pronounce.
I got to spend a lot of my time. Well, I guess I should say I learned most of my Japanese pronunciation from watching Naruto. Uh,
So
and then
you
I got
can
in.
learn from watching anime.
You can, because I learned mostly from Yuri Lowenthal because he is part Japanese, and in that dub, he is always
You pronounce,
pronouncing words properly, and that's
yeah.
how I learned, you know, how that all worked. One sound that a lot of foreign speakers have a long hard time learning is the R sound in Japanese, because
Mm,
it's like the middle ground between R and L,
yeah.
and Yuri would always say Naruto and not Naruto, and that was something I tried to mimic. So by the time I got to my Japanese class in my freshman year of high school, I was like, I got this. I can do that already.
Yeah, when he speaks in a way, in an environment in which he has to speak in with a more Japanese dialect, you hear that come out a lot more than other characters, like when he's Yosuke in Persona 4, for example.
Hmm.
Because in other games, he's like not really in that setting. For example, Fire Emblem, obviously, it's not a place where you have as many typically Japanese sounding syllables happening. But for
Right.
anime, for sure, like that, you see that flat shine through.
Spicy, you are correct. Uh, like Vegeta is Vegeta in Japanese.
Vegeta. Yeah, I've
Vegeta.
been working on that as well. Um,
Kakaroto. Or like, there you go. That's another good example. Is a double consonant. So it's not Kakaroto. It's Kakaroto. When you have a double consonant, there's kind of that. I don't even know how to describe it. It's not
is
quite a pause,
is
but it's like
there?
a hold.
Hmm.
Um, why do we spell why do we spell Kakarot with two R's in the manga?
Because it looks more like carrot at that point.
Oh, you know what? You're right. Oh, one thing in the manga that always bugged me was instead of Kururin, it's Kulilin. Kulilin.
It looks
And I'm
so
like,
different.
no, stop.
Oh yeah, just translating between different languages can be such a pain. The those who do localization don't get enough credit for things like that.
There are a lot of things that just straight up don't have translations. Like Naruto's Databayo. It doesn't technically mean anything in English,
Hmm.
or like there's no direct English translation for it. So we got believe it.
Believe it.
It's like a really fancy way of him saying or emphasizing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Naruto gets a lot of hate, the dub for having believe it, but believe it only lasted like 20 something episodes.
I
After
mean,
that, they dropped it completely.
and yet it's remained in our hearts forever.
Yep.
Oh man, what else did we do on vacation?
I see an element of the vacation behind you on your shelf.
Do you see it right there?
I do.
I yeah, I posted a picture of it a little bit while ago on Twitter, like last week when I got it when I was still over there. The little box is the um little diorama that Brandon got for me for, I guess it was like a combined Christmas, Secret Santa, and birthday gift because I don't think that was within the limit, Brandon.
It wasn't. I used it as an excuse to go beyond plus ultra.
That's that is, I can't move it at the moment because it's very delicate with that setup at but it's Lynn fighting Brigand in Brigand Emblem. Obviously we played that game a while back. Last year we played Fire Emblem the Blazing Blade, and it's just a little representation of a battle right there. I'll bring it closer if I can later on, but I'm trying to see if I can find a photo at the moment.
It
But
is a
yeah,
memento of our journey.
it was a memento, and I was really excited to see it. I made sure that it didn't get any damage on the way home. It's in good condition. Nothing
I'm
has
glad it
fallen over.
survived.
But yeah, I really I love that thing. I have my whole little shelf of all these different plushies and figures up on here that I don't ever really get to show off. You can see Knuckles is spying on us right there
I
from
love he's just
that one
poking around.
that one image where he's hiding the first ring for the Super Emeralds in Sonic and 3 and Knuckles.
Hmm.
But yeah, that was really nice. I really like that present. Thank you, Brandon.
Of course. That is the Dongo family behind me,
Oh
Sumo. I
yeah,
got so
right over
for
there
those of you who've watched Clannad, uh,
in that
well,
direction.
I don't want to
It's
get
hard
too
to
spoilery.
like
I
explain.
can't I can't talk about it. There is a character that gifted another character for 3 Christmases in a row a Dongo plushie, so I did that for my wife because we both love that, love that anime. I'm a super fan of Clannad. I have the whole series on Blu-ray. I have the OVA movie on DVD, never released on Blu-ray. I have the official soundtrack collection. I have those 3 Dongo back there. I have the video game. I have the Side Stories video game, and then I bought the game again when it came out on Switch. It is my favorite anime of all time.
I think you're a fan. I can be fairly confident in saying that you are a fan. I watched the
Just a
whole
little bit.
series as well. I've only just really indulged in the anime series myself, but it uh it invokes a lot of feelings. The
Oh, I bought the
overall
sequel too. There's a sequel to Clannad.
the overall mood from like the first season, the really like there's a specific mood in the first season compared to the second season, and that kind of contrast was just like wow. It's the difference between uh how jolly it is at school to real life, and yeah, there's a lot of emotions packed in there.
Clannad came to me at a time in my life where I was in the midst of that transition.
Hmm.
Uh, so it hit me fairly hard when I watched it the first time.
Oh man.
I mean, it's even significant to me now, uh, because of the kind of journey into adulthood that happens in the second season.
Yeah, that's there's some heavy stuff in there, but
Don't watch it unless you're ready to literally fall apart.
oh my gosh. Yeah, we
I've never watched a series like that has messed me up as bad as Clannad did.
there's so many
Don't talk to me
things.
about the toy scene.
I was reading that right now. I was like, "Oh no, you're gonna hurt Brandon emotionally if you do that."
I wrote an essay about that scene for college.
oh wow. Yeah,
Means a lot to me, man.
the the overall aesthetic of that it was a vibe because that whole high school setting was very jolly and very much like your slice of life anime, and then it became something else in the next season, and it's just it's a way to just kind of think about life as well because when you leave your school for like college or whatever, if you're gonna go into work, the whole mood kind of just changes when you don't see your friends every day. There's some people that you definitely take for granted as far as having their presence around, and just they're always going to be there, you're always going to see your friends, but then that kind of changes. And I think that kind of hit me as well, not with a Clannad but with Persona instead, because that was around the time that I had gotten introduced to Persona. And the whole theme of there's a high school theme, of course, and then there's the supernatural aspect of it with personas and shadows and all that. But being able to put it into a structure where yeah, you're going to be with these people but only for so long. Persona 3 and 4 really encapsulate like being with your friends, and I think 4 does it a bit better because it's a lot more wholesome. 3 gets kind of depressing at times, but it made me rethink how I should approach keeping up with my friends, and just things I involve myself with over in daily life, and how I approach doing certain things. Like it actually made me be more aware of studying in a weird way. It gave me some like more healthy habits as I got older. But we all resonate with these games different. But man, that was something. Let me take a.
Oh, I thought the call
Oh, I
was
don't have
dying
an
for
alert
a second.
showing.
Left.
Am I
I thought that
dying?
call was dying for a second.
Am I?
I was like, he's
Oh
disappearing.
no!
I think it was just me. Well, no.
I think
Uh, it was not just me.
maybe the audio cut for a moment. I'm still figuring out this microphone, so if I die for a moment, I'm sorry.
Now you're out of sync again.
Did I go out of sync? Oh, did that make me go out of sync again?
Maybe that's what
Oh,
happened
great.
before. Give it the old unplug.
Will that break the audio on stream, I wonder?
I hope not.
Hold
If
on.
you plug it back in, it should just be fine.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
I don't know if they can hear you, but I think it switched you off in Discord. Try blowing on the Daniel cartridge. Not in this house. Gotta ask my wife first. Cannot hear Daniel. Chat. Do I still exist? Okay, they can't hear me.
Hello? Did that
There he
fix
is.
it? Okay.
I can hear you now.
This is going to be the new recurring problem is with this new microphone which Brandon got me. Very very kind of you, Brandon, to give me said microphone that you're not using anymore, that I'm not even sure was yours to begin with after a discussion on the last stream, but
Technically, it's not, but the other person can have this one. We're all fine.
But yeah, I have a XLR microphone now. It goes to this Focusrite that I was recommended. I have a little uh um adapter so I can keep using these headphones because I was using the speakers I have here, which made the audio not sound right. Now everything sounds good and hunky dory. So we're good.
Yeah,
I'm slightly upgrading. Maybe my audio quality sounds a bit better this time. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure some things out, but we're
it's more
here.
consistent. I'll say that.
That's nice. I really needed to fix that up.
I like the way you've wrapped your XLR cable around your boom arm.
Yeah? Does it make me look professional?
It does. I was lucky enough to buy one that has these little wraps, and then there's this little
Oh,
curve that it runs through.
that looks very nice.
I also bought this one because my old one was getting very squeaky, which I think you experienced because you were using it when you were
Yeah.
here.
My arm is a bit squeaky too, so I try to keep it right where it should be. If I'm doing this, it's fine, but if I'm adjusting the actual height, it's just like, "Rrrr," and I don't want to do that to you right now.
Yeah, this one is completely silent,
Oh, that's so
which
nice. It's gonna
quite
oil
nice.
mine apparently.
Uh, one of the things I wanted to do, and I've been telling you guys about this for a while, is I wanted to renovate this room down here. Unfortunately, some things have come up, and I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. But I am going to be doing something down here. I think as far as my videos go, I'm just going to have to record upstairs because I don't want y'all think I live in a dungeon, which it kind of feels like. That said, everyone who comes on the show is like, "Oh, your space looks so cozy," and I'm like, "I guarantee you, it is not cozy."
It's just I
um,
was cozy. I slept right there. You see the little bed behind Brandon that looks like it still hasn't been
you did.
fixed since I left. I slept there.
No, I need to push it back up against the wall.
uh
Um, but what I'm gonna do is on this opposite wall here. So this is the wall of my basement right in front of me, and then there's that wall. So in that corner, I'm gonna work with my dad and build an audio recording booth, so that I can record VO at night when people are sleeping and no one can hear me, and the reverse that my mic doesn't pick up anything else.
so you've
Uh,
decided to just build your own instead.
that is ultimately what I came to decide. Yeah.
I looked at some of the possible options for a booth that would be more for professional work, and they do get pricey very quickly. So it may be
Yeah,
in your best. Yeah.
I found some plans from an audio engineer that built one in his basement, and he just put the plans up online, and I was like, I'm just gonna do what you did.
Yeah, yeah, I would totally go for it because your VO venture I think will bear fruit sooner than later, especially with the amount that you've been doing so far.
I sure hope so. I oh, excuse me, John was a big inspiration for me because VO is something I did quite a bit more when I was younger. Weirdly enough, I did VO in various machinima. If anyone still remembers what machinima is,
Back in ye
uh,
olden days of like
ye olden
Newgrounds.
days. Yeah. I'm also I haven't heard from Scoot in a long time, but I was a main character in both Wukos and AE Chronics. Um, I think some of you have actually seen that before because some of you brought it up to me. Um, I think he's rebooting some of his animations right now, but I haven't heard from him in a while, so I I might still be in that. I don't actually know. um, but yeah, I want to get more into VO and kind of help supplement the income because gonna real talk with you a little bit. I'm getting very tired because I split my attention between so many organizations. Um, I work for a marketing agency. I work here. I work for a couple different YouTubers. I work for a magazine. And I will soon be working for an additional company, and I am running out of steam. I'm too young to be doing as well, I'm too young to feel this old, is what I should say. Uh, the burnout is really getting hard on me. Um, so I need to do something that allows me to live and put food on my table that isn't going to literally cost me years on my life.
Yeah, I've seen the workload that you've had to deal with, and then in person as well. And yeah, there's a lot of different improvements that we could be making. You all have been like you and John uh, together have been inspiring me with to think about VO stuff as well. At some point, I don't know if I'm quite at the point that you guys are for that, but at least a different option for that additional income because as things are right now for I guess the both of us, they're not optimal in different ways, and we really should be thinking about healthier options that can help us work smarter, not harder, essentially.
Yeah. And frequent, I'm glad you think I'm 24, but I'm 28, and in a month from today, I'll be 29. Not getting any younger.
We
Um,
definitely are not.
so that's a big motivation for me. I hate saying motivation is money, but that's just a reality of the world we live in.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, there's the passion for VO, but there's also the necessity to survive.
Yeah, that's really a part of it right now too, huh? Um, yeah, you and John have been well. John especially has been. He's already found work with that in a professional environment, and I was like, man, we can do that too. We know a son of a voice actor who's very prolific, so I'm just like, man, we at least have different ways to get us started. Because getting started is the hard part. Having that kind of portfolio of different things that you've done, you don't necessarily need that experience as far as some voice actors there tell you, but having some kind of frame of reference for what you're able to do, what you're capable of, is it never hurts to have that as well.
Yeah, and I think another kind of inspiration for getting into this, I said John before, but I'll say John again, but for a different reason. I think it's easier to get into something like this when you have someone who's also doing it that you can talk to and you can learn things together and figure out the space as you get started. Because I think that was one of my biggest, excuse me, one of my biggest hangups is that I had no guidance.
Hmm.
I'm getting guidance in a different way in addition to that now, um, through some classes. But I think a big thing is just it's like with learning Japanese. It's like easier to do when someone is there doing it with you.
Hmm. Oh
There's that
yeah.
cross accountability that can happen because you're talking back and forth to one another and you're learning the uh the art together, and I think that's just very empowering. Um yes, frequent John Spiration. He is my John Spiration.
Yeah,
uh
that's super important for anything that you can get into. Like that's just essentially me with everything that you see here with Good Vibes Gaming, whether it's making videos, running streams like this. I had no idea how to do this even just like a year and a half ago. Uh, Maybe there's some things I still can learn, of course, with streaming and obviously with video production. That's going to be something I keep working on. But having someone to help you with that is always such a big help. And I know John's been a great help for you for that right now too. And that's super cool.
I even find that in video production, like I've been a big proponent here on the channel for collaborative work. Like,
Hmm.
I want to do videos together because doing videos together often elevates ideas. It makes it easier to get through the process. Um, and then again, there's like cross accountability, which I think is also important. Something that I'm going through right now is um, working with psychiatrists to basically diagnose undiagnosed ADHD and get that kind of figured out because um, body doubling is a big thing with folks who have ADHD. Just having someone in the room, even if they're not talking to you or actively participating, I don't know. It just makes my brain switch and I start working. It's just
Hmm.
how it is. Um, so I've been taking some steps to work against that myself. Uh, I already took one test and I'm taking another one on Monday. So I'll find out soon and hopefully start treating that. And I'm hoping it improves just my ability to survive work.
Yeah, that's a major thing. Um, I I've been trying to work on certain things of myself as well. Just whether it's just me trying to get out of the headspace of that I have to do things myself. Usually, that's been my headspace for a long time because the way I've lived for a long time, I've had to do things on my own, and I'm trying to learn that oh no, you can collaborate with friends. You can lean on your friends to do more stuff and more work, and hopefully I can get that sorted out soon. I guess that's why we're doing a lot of different collaborative videos. Hopefully coming up soon, maybe. Um, and just overall, just trying to get ourselves lined up with healthier habits. Hopefully, I hope that works out for you too, because uh, trying to get sleep on a schedule like that is not easy at all.
Oh, then yes, you reminded me of another problem I have to figure out.
Oh, I thought I thought that's what you had in mind as you were discussing that.
I have sleep apnea, and it is doing a few major things to me. It's affecting my sleep, which you probably all know I already struggle with. Two, it's affecting my memory, which I've gone on record saying I have the memory of a donut, and turns out there might be a reason why. Uh, and three, it just hurts productivity, man. I'll do a couple hours of work and, I'll get that work done, and then I just need to go turn off.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Oh
I
my gosh.
it was funny. I don't remember what we were watching. It may have been Pokemon, but we had fallen asleep. Like I was asleep in my chair, and I think I woke myself up uh choking, which is only the second time that's ever happened. Sleep apnea can be very dangerous. If you think you have it, please do something about it, because it affects your breathing, and that's very, very not good. Um, but that was kind of my kick in the butt. It's the first time that happened to me. I was like, I nearly died.
God. Yeah, I think someone in my family's had that before too, and they had to go to a doctor to check that out. Um, I don't know. Was it Pokemon? Were we playing? Was it? Tales of Vesperia that I was playing and you fell asleep during that? Or maybe you didn't wake up choking from it, but I know you fell asleep. I tried to show Brandon Tales of Vesperia. He fell asleep after like 20 minutes.
I was enjoying it. My body shut down.
and then
Um,
Michaela watched me play it for like another hour and a half, and that was fun.
you'll be happy to know I bought the game, by the way.
You
I
did?
saw it was $8, so I
Oh
just went
yeah.
and bought it.
It goes on. The Tales games can go on sale in the single dollar digits, and that's always the best time to get it. But yeah,
But yeah,
that was funny.
if to reiterate, if you think you have sleep apnea, please get a sleep study done. It's very dangerous and it's not
Yeah,
good for your health. Um, so I'm gonna do that. Get that
yeah.
sorted out.
Oh
This
gosh.
is different from narcolepsy. Narcolepsy can be related to sleep apnea because you're not getting enough sleep. Um, but narcolepsy, that's where you just kind of fall asleep on a dime, isn't it?
I gosh, I think so. I don't know. Um, I don't have any experience with sleep apnea or narcolepsy personally. I just don't get the right amount of sleep probably. But gosh, I'm seeing here GCM of Chaos was saying I had sleep apnea and crashed my grandmother's car. Nothing major, just drove into a fire hydrant in a school zone. So luckily I wasn't speeding or anything. Well, I'm glad you're not hurt, but also that's very scary if sleep apnea or narcolepsy can do something like that to you. That
That
is
sounds more like narcolepsy.
like where you just fall asleep.
Yeah, so Eddie's here saying narcolepsy is when you involuntarily fall asleep. Apnea is when your breathing is obstructed while you sleep. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gosh, that is scary.
Yep, not something to be trifled with. But I'm hoping, tackling all these things will just help me feel better and more productive, which
Hmm.
is what I want.
I hope so.
Um,
Yeah. But
let's see.
man,
Frequent says, I almost fell asleep at the wheel while driving home from Anime Expo and nearly rear-ended someone. That's spooky. I don't like that.
ugh. See, the only experience I've had with falling asleep on the road is just the fact that I would wake up when I used to go to my actual day job, which was pretty much an hour-long drive on Highway 880 on California, going south, and then another drive an hour away back. Going there was fine. Coming home, I was super exhausted just because, especially in the last couple of years, that work kind of just drained me, and I would feel myself nodding off as I'm in traffic. But luckily, there was so much traffic that I wasn't really going very fast, or maybe it was bad because of it, because I was stuck in traffic for longer. Never really in danger of like hitting a car at high speed. But God, I got super tired on those trips back, and I don't want to ever commute like that ever again.
Oh God.
it'd
Yeah, that
be
sounds terrible.
it'd be so rough.
I uh I work well, I shouldn't say I work. I worked in television for a long time. Uh a good portion of my adulthood was spent working in TV, and I was an overnight photographer. Uh they call us night crawlers. I wasn't really a night crawler because I actually worked for a television station. Um but I was essentially doing what night crawlers do.
Mm,
And being awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, driving to a random fire in a city 2 hours away from you is not good for your health.
God.
You will fall asleep. Um, and I've had some bad experiences with that. I've never fully fell asleep, but I could tell like I was on the verge a few times. And I know that's something truckers deal with too, and I can't imagine what that's like.
Yeah, those are some long uh vehicle rides. They can really just lull you to sleep for just the monotony itself. I had to like blast music to keep myself awake most of the time.
This was the period of my life where I was listening to a lot of Real Talk podcast on the
Yeah.
road.
Yeah, that's the same with me. Every Tuesday, I think I saved it for two. I don't know why. I saved it for a certain day, and I would just listen on the way there, and then on the way back, if there's anything left of that conversation, I would just listen to that too, and it helped keep me awake for sure. And now we're doing things like that. It's kind of weird how a life works that way.
I guess you and I owe Derek and John, or Derek and Ash, a lot of love for keeping us awake on the road all those
Who
years.
knows if we'd even be here if it wasn't for them? I don't know if I would be spiritually or physically.
To answer Shell Shock about diabetes, diabetes is just something you learn to live with. Um, as a type 1, I was not. I have a. This is weird to talk about because like a lot of folks get type 1 diabetes when they're very very young, like 5, 6 years old. I got diabetes at 21, um, which is still technically juvenile diabetes, but is on the verge of being abnormal. Um, and in some ways, it frustrates me that I didn't get diabetes as a child because I had to learn how to change my entire lifestyle. Because if I was a kid when it happened, I would have just been raised that way. So it's had its challenges. Um, but as far as actual treatment is concerned, I have an insulin pump that administers insulin to me 24/7. Which, if you remember at PAX West, broke when I first got there.
That
And it was
was
one of the most terrifying experiences of my life, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
I felt bad during that because literally it broke and I had to get on the plane and I had no way to contact you to make sure if you were okay while I was on the way to Seattle, and me and Ash were just like, oh God, is he okay? Because
I was
at least Steve was there, right?
not when it happened. I was the only one at the hotel.
Oh gosh, okay.
I was borderline having a panic attack trying to figure out what to do. And then Steve finally does get there. He helps me figure out what I need to do because I was a ball of anxiety. Um, and then Steve loses his phone in an Uber, and we have another
It's
crisis.
just a crisis on top of that. Because then we couldn't really
Then
contact Steve then.
Yeah, and then you two finally showed up, and everything was basically hunky dory. I had to survive the rest of that day with no insulin pump because they ended up overnighting me one to the hotel, thank God. But because I couldn't fill my pump with insulin because I couldn't press any buttons on it, excuse me, I just had to hope and pray I had insulin that lasted me through the next day,
Oh
and
my
thank God it
gosh.
did.
Yeah, we went out to like those late night targets trying to find something. Was it the pumps or
We were
what
looking for syringes,
the syringes? That's what it was.
which which you can't get without a prescription, and I could not get my doctor to send me one. They
Oh my
finally
god.
did, like, the day that my new pump came in.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that
Not to
was
not
scary.
to poo-poo on my doctors or anything, they're great people, it's just it was very stressful.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I mean, anyone sounds like would be just terrified to be in that situation. I'm just glad everything worked out okay in the end. Then we did find Steve's phone a bit later on too.
We did,
He
and
almost lost
then
it again.
you had to dig it out.
I was the only one with skinny enough hands to dig into exactly where it was. The Uber driver wouldn't believe us that it was in there. I think they wanted us to just leave so he can get to his next
Yeah,
job. But we're like,
he thought we
it's
were lying.
right there, and I fished it out eventually and like scratched my hand up doing it, but we still
Your hand looked bad after that.
that hurt. It was just really tight in there. If Steve had like a cell phone cover, he would have been fine because the iPhone is just so slippery and smooth that it just slid right in.
Oh my
But
god,
we
that
all
was an
we
experience.
all had our own crises that first day. It's just first days of at PAX. We just can expect something wacky to happen, like with the actual first time when we all met.
I hope whatever happens next time is not nearly as bad as what happened last time.
Oh my god, those were fun times. And now that we look back on it, it's just like, yeah, we survived that. We can't wait for the next. Well, can't wait for E3. I wonder what'll happen then when we're actually all together.
It was doubly scary for me too, because I traveled without my wife, and my
Mm-hmm.
wife is like my security blanket when it comes to my health. If I'm freaking out over some diabetic thing, she can be there and kind of rein me in and do the things that I am not mentally capable of doing in the moment. Um, so there was some anxiety there, but y'all had my back, so it was
We fulfilled that role back for you, and I just remember carrying a lot of extra supplies in my bag just to make sure that we were all gonna be okay.
it came in handy. There were a few times it really did come down to needing that because in here where I live, walking around to get to where you need to go isn't really an option. We're not that kind of city. So
Hmm.
I'm not used to the kind of walking that you do in Seattle, where everything you need to do can be walked to. And of course, it's also very hilly there. Um, and when you put stress on your body, or essentially when you exercise, your blood sugar will naturally go down. Um, and for me as a diabetic, that can lead to a blood sugar crash, which can lead to a whole laundry list of things I don't want to get into, but it's bad. Bottom line, it's not good. So having all that stuff in your bag was a lifesaver for me.
Yeah, I didn't want anything to happen to you, of course. So we all made sure that Brandon was gonna survive that until we made it out of PAX. But
I'm making
yeah.
it a point to get myself back into shape by the time of E3 so that I have a little bit more endurance. It's more flat in LA than it is in Seattle, so it's not as big of a problem.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's you're not gonna have as many problems walking around that area for sure. Because I remember anywhere in Seattle we tried to go. When we were for there the first time, that was the worst because we were just in a crater, and no matter where we went, we had to go uphill to go anywhere. And especially when me, Ash, and Michaela went to that cookie place that was up like 9 blocks of hills
Still can't believe you guys did that.
for cookies. I will do a lot for sweets, Brandon. You don't understand. You probably understand a little bit more now that I ate like all the sweets around you when I was over there. But I will go through much for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did see that firsthand. We bought like two things of cookies. There was like Chips Ahoy and Oreos, and they were like gone within one day.
Listen, I had like literally only a few cookies of Chips Ahoy. It was the Oreos that I destroyed.
I had like 5 or 6 Chips Ahoy. I did eat a lot of those. Um,
I'm glad we're in solidarity about chewy cookies and not crunchy hard wafer cookies.
why do you want a crunchy hard cookie? It just feels bad to eat.
I
Like
want something soft.
there is nothing better than a freshly baked, warm, gooey, chewy chocolate chip cookie.
Ugh,
Like that's perfection in my mind.
I
It's
was
so it just warms the soul.
I was tempted to get like the I forgot what it's called, but like it's like the cookie dough that you can just either scoop or put down in squares and bake those in the oven, and they're just so good. That's my favorite. That's my weakness. Um, Spicy saying Daniel confirmed Cookie Monster. I don't know. Maybe I get along with Arlo pretty well, so there might be some kind of correlation there.
Every time we see Arlo from now on, I want to go to Johnny Rockets. I,
I mean,
I
if
want that to be the thing we do.
we see each other in Seattle, I would gladly spend another afternoon having lunch with Arlo over there. That was very lovely. Funny how one of the best memories I have of PAX was absolutely nothing game related. Was just hanging out and eating lunch there.
We almost gave up on going to see Reggie, and then Arlo ran into us and he says, "You want to go see Reggie?" And we were like, sure."
That's what I tried to do, and then I thought we were in the wrong place, and we happened to cross paths on the way back, and then he guided us to the Reggie. We were way in back, and I remember after the show we tried to just kind of walk and be like, maybe we could just say hi, but then he went backstage and we couldn't do it anymore.
We were told, "Why are you here?" Shoo, and we got shooed away.
Yeah, apparently our bodies were not ready for the Reggie quite yet, but hopefully sometime soon. And yeah, Arlo is a really nice guy. He's the nicest monster I have ever met.
He might be
Um,
one of the most pleasant people I've ever interacted with. Like, like first time meeting.
mhm.
Um, it's so funny too. I think I've told this before, but like when we first uh we did like a thing with She Says at the hotel he was at, I think. We had like a little get together,
Oh, yeah.
and we were walking there, and there's this guy in front of us looking back and talking to us, and I'm like, who is he? He knows who we are. I don't know who he is. And here's Daniel standing next to us or walking alongside us, knowing completely who this man is. Steve came up to me and whispered in my ear, "Who is that guy?"
Oh yeah, Steve talked about this on the GVG cast not too long ago about he was just talking they were just talking to each other and then it just hit him mid conversation. Oh, I'm so sorry you've never seen me. I'm Arlo. And then I see was like,
Oh, I think you glitched again.
did my audio go crazy again? No, my story. Hold on. Hold on.
We're gonna get the rest of the it's not Twitch, is it? Oh, because he's out of sync for me now, chat. Oh yeah, it is Arlo hacking the system. He's using his
It
blue monster
was
powers.
it was I don't know. The computer tends to like have these moments where
It hiccups.
it hiccups and I can't move my mouse. I can't do anything for a few seconds or longer, and then it comes back and it's fine. But I think that's causing the microphone to desync every time that happens. I don't know what that is. Um, I've had that for a while now. I think it's just my computer has something with it that's not right.
We gotta get you a new one. We just need to get you a new computer.
That's like the real last step for me because I have a cam, I have a proper microphone, everything else I can work with. But the computer itself, I need like more memory too soon, especially after doing this one video I'm doing. But Arlo's story, yeah. Where did I leave, where did I get cut off?
It was Arlo had just realized he didn't tell Steve who he was.
Oh yeah, so I think that's the part he was discussing on GVG Cast. So Arlo realized that, oh wait, I'm Arlo, and then Steve was like, oh okay, and then everything made sense finally. And I didn't even realize at the time that you guys were just in the back saying, who is Daniel talking to? I was just having a normal conversation because I met Arlo at GDC over in San Francisco just a few months prior to that. So I was like, oh yeah, I know Arlo, and yeah, it was just a funny scenario to be in.
Oh yeah, but he's a lovely guy. Um, very pleasant. If you ever get a chance to meet Arlo, is he still doing Arlo Palooza? If he
I
ever
th-
does Arlo Palooza again, go
I
to it.
think that definitely stopped around pandemic, and then I don't know if he's done it again or if he'll be doing it again soon. But I definitely want to go hang out with him again if that does happen. Um, Another funny thing that we discovered together, and that only uh secures our theory about this, is that Arlo had two friends in high school. Their names were Brandon and Daniel. And I was like, see, we told you.
I could not believe it when he told us that. I was like, "You're kidding me! No way!"
It's so, oh my god, it's oh
The
good
theory of
gosh.
Braniel relativity is true.
I remember when we did the Sonic 2 playthrough, we brought up that there were two other another channel has a Brandon and Daniel. Was that Easy Allies
It's
or
Easy Allies. Yep.
yeah, they also have a Brandon Daniel. It's just a fact. So Brandon Bovia out there, if you don't have a Daniel in your life, you will. You just have to wait. It just has to happen
He does.
naturally. Oh, he does.
Our fellow mod.
Oh, our moderator. I guess you can count our moderators. We have a Brandon and Daniel moderator. Brandel combination. Oh my
It's
gosh.
it it started as a joke, but ever since it's been like eerily true.
It comes true in ways that I'm not even thinking of because it's just that natural effect in nature that happens. But
You
yeah.
got you got Daniel to watch Gundam Witch from Mercury. He's my Daniel. Good. Good, good.
Then all is right in the world. Oh my gosh. You know any other Brandons or Daniels in your actual like area, Brandon?
I
Let
have
me...
a cousin Daniel.
You have a cousin Brandon?
No, weirdly enough.
Oh, I see. Because I guess we're common names, but we're common names, but our last names are very much uncommon. I don't see many people ever have them, so we kind of balance out that way.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got a
Uh,
100 tickets redeemed from Oscar Rijo. Hey, official GVG guys, is Oscar Rijo from Jersey City, New Jersey. Yesterday, I got Bayonetta 3, and my Christmas gift list of games for my Nintendo Switch has been completed. Well, that's awesome. Very nice to have that list completed. I still have to play Bayonetta 3. There was so many things happening at that point, but I hope you have a good time with that. We've previewed it. It looked really fun. let me see here. Yeah, that we had a fun time on that vacation. The New Year's party was great. We had some pretty angry, yelly games of Mario Party during that time that I'm
That
never
was
gonna
the most
forget.
intense Mario Party I've ever experienced in my life. There was, like, so much yelling, but all of it was out of love. It was, like, the most just, like, angry family playing Mario Party.
I got a lot of dirty looks for things that I committed during that game of Mario Party. That was, yeah, that was a fun time. And then that was the same night of New Year's Eve. So very close to New Year's Eve, we were like, oh my gosh, it's almost the new year. And we just on the spot decided, okay, let's all get on each other's village in Animal Crossing. And so we're trying to all fly to each other's islands. We're scrambling to get things ready and go over and clean up. And then we realize, oh, while people were flying over, we realized, oh, Brandon's and Michaela's Switch are on the same account, so we can't do local. We have to all get back off the island, do online play. I think the timer was literally at a minute when the last person was coming in. I was like,
It
oh my
was
god,
me.
yeah, like oh no, Brandon, they're gonna shoot fireworks while you're flying your plane over, and they're gonna shoot you out the sky if we don't hurry up.
That's the day my Animal Crossing character died.
In a blaze of glory. Yeah, that was fantastic. We made it on time. We celebrated the New Year's, and then there were fireworks and gunshots. That was fun.
Welcome to Chicago life.
we
That's
hear
just
this.
how it is.
We hear a certain sound, and so we mute the game, and then your windows open, and we're like listening, and then we're just like, yeah, that's those aren't fireworks over across the street.
Sure weren't.
We live in America, as Eddie says.
Yep, nothing more American than Chicago. Oh my god. But yeah,
My goodness.
that was a fun weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I miss y'all already. I want to go back. Uh.
So we also talked about the Twitch channel a little bit while you were here, and we had actually it was on the car ride to the airport where we had a lot of business related discussions for some reason. Just happened in the car. Um, and Daniel and I are toying with the idea, and I think we're pretty much going to go ahead and just go roll with it. Where Daniel will do a solo stream on Saturdays, and I will do a solo stream on Sundays to kind of give you a little bit more to chew on through the week and maybe help us grow the channel a little bit faster. Um, so just kind of wanted to pick y'all's brains and see what you think about that.
Yeah, cuz I've been doing like solo games on my own whenever Brandon isn't available, just kind of to fill that slot in. My Paper Mario playthrough has been very scattered. I've jumped into it like maybe once every couple weeks on average, and now I have it's been probably about a month since I touched that, it feels like. But that'll be a way for me to kind of get on that every week on a weekly schedule. And then if any other games come out, I know people want me to play Fire Emblem Engage. If I finish Paper Mario quick enough, I can probably get that started too. If everyone's down to see me play that and get my own thoughts on it, I will see how well I can line that up. But that'll be probably me on Saturdays. I don't know the time just yet, but it'll probably be more around this time because my family takes my sisters to a special class on Saturdays for Japanese, and it's nice and quiet and empty here. So I might capitalize on that time for a bit of a morning-ish style, or at least for Pacific time, a bit more late morning stream. And then I think Brandon has something in plans for himself as well too, right?
Well, I forgot Derek streams on Sunday nights, so I might need to pick a different day.
Oh,
Because I can't really do midday on Sundays. Or, well,
unless you do it earlier and just kind of raid him after.
I guess, but it kind of clashes with my plans for that. I don't know.
Hmm.
I'll
Oh,
have to come
okay.
up with something. Uh, but yeah, we want to just kind of buffer this channel a little bit because, you know, again, slipping back into real talk, things have stagnated here quite a bit. We kind of hit 2,000 followers, and we've just kind of been stuck there for quite some time.
Yeah,
Um,
we
so we
really
we need to build it up.
really had the biggest boost when the channel started, and it's been hard to kind of. We want to achieve partner, of course, at some point, but we're gonna have to output a bit more. My goodness, there's the alerts. They were missing earlier. Hi. Thank you, Stacy UK, for subscribing. Wait, let me bring that back up because I just lost track of everything. On a 10th month streak, that would be great. Your streams are a highlight of my week, but please make sure you get enough rest. Yeah, I think I'm most rested on Saturdays because I don't have anything else to do. Or unless I'm working on a video. But otherwise, that's really the time I have probably more energy to do this sort of stuff. I don't know if those streams will be as long as 3 hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours or so. But yeah, that's certainly where we want to be at. And um, oh yeah, as Dino says, it's my if it's mainly a better way to handle streams for playthroughs, then they don't mind. And Paper Mario playthroughs have been fun to check out every so often. Well, thank you. I'm happy that I can maintain a stream on my own at this point. I would never been able to do that when we first started, so it's been a good way to kind of uh, acclimate to that sort of setting. But yeah, I guess whatever you plan to do, Brandon, I just let everyone know once I have that in advance so that I can probably try and help you out with that too if I need to, with other assets and such.
I'll get it figured out. I think if I do it on Sunday leading up to Derek's stream, that might work out. Because basically, what I want to do is, for my streams, um, I've been doing a lot of Dragon Quest X, as well as Monster Hunter Frontier, and continuing to play Monster Hunter Rise. And I play a lot with my friend Levi, so I figured we would just take our play sessions that we're already doing, and for a couple hours once a week, just have that on stream for y'all to watch. We also have guilds in both Dragon Quest X and Monster Hunter Frontier, and I would invite you all to join that if you're interested. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what I want to do.
And then
Uh,
I'll go ahead.
Eddie says strategically, I don't know if Saturday Sunday streams would increase your sub counts because you'd still be streaming to the same audience. Well, we're trying to break out of that. Because I don't really stream much Dragon Quest or Monster Hunter in general. And Daniel would be playing more games as well. So we want to just kind of break out, and the only way to break out is to keep streaming.
Yeah, well, I think it's just a matter of also playing more recent titles as well. Um, we we're,
Yeah,
we're,
we talked
we're
about
we're
that.
really comfortable doing just what's out that or what we enjoy, and we've been doing that for a long time now. But I think doing more stuff where it's more recent titles, or I guess even niche stuff like yours, where people don't really see very often at all, would be a way to help increase our overall audience. I'll be doing it Fire Emblem Engage. I've always teased the idea in my head of doing whenever Genshin does another update, do like Genshin Impact story mode like 3.4. It's coming up out soon. Maybe I could do something like that, just show what's going on with that and playing that there. Because that game's probably not coming out on Switch at this point.
I would stream with Max, but I don't know him or have any connections to him.
Oh no.
Hang on, I just dropped something. I gotta pick it up.
But yeah, we can definitely do collab streams. I encourage collab streams actually. Maybe I'll get some people around on weekends if I have nothing else to do or play on my own. Because there are some people who only have availability on weekends as opposed to our weekdays.
Yeah, weekdays are pretty filled. It's not like I could stream Fridays because there's GVG cast happening already. It's like we have to not overlap each other, but then
Mm-hmm.
also we have to be free. I would
Yeah,
just pick a random weekday if it wasn't for work. Work just gets in the way. It's weird to say that. Work's just getting in the way.
works get in the way of doing our work.
Uh, get the GVG members to plug you in videos or put you on the end card of videos. We've tried. We angrily shake our fists.
We're not even in the video that's our introductory video when you go to YouTube, the one that John made for us. It shows all of us for sure, but it doesn't advertise the the Twitch at all.
I was
Um
like, John, what the heck, man?
and then
Don't forget about us.
Brandon and I are advertising our pretty much the only videos by us you see advertising the Twitch channel at the end, which it's not fair, but
You
I'm
can
trying.
watch me poorly advertise the channel in my top 3 games of the year video, where I forget the name of the Twitch channel.
What's that channel that we've had for over a year now?
The sad part is I think I said it right the first time, and then I second guessed myself.
That's so funny.
Eddie says, I think that's what you got to do to raise the numbers. Collab with folks like Max or Gerard. The thing with collabs is like we can't collab every stream. So if people are only coming here to see the other folks, you know, that's not retention. Exactly.
I think that was part of the initial spike in the beginning because while we did like 2 streams on YouTube, I think, and then we moved to Twitch like a week after. And then that's when we started to do like a countdown to Mario Party Superstars, in which we played 1, 2, and 3 and had guests like every time. And I think people were invested for that kind of content. And then we kind of just started to do our own thing, and the numbers went down. So we definitely want to keep that. Just won't be the only thing that we do, of course.
The important thing is that we're able to carry the Twitch by ourselves. Not that I don't want guests, of course. Of course, I want guests. I love having guests. It's
Yeah,
just if we can't survive without them, um, you know, that that might signal doomsday for the Twitch channel.
what does that say about me? They're only here because I channel the guests that come on. But having a good variety of guests, like we had Lex and Felix just the other day playing Mario Party. Always happy to have that. I see Bunny in the background.
Yeah, I had a visitor. We try to avoid the GVG subreddit because people on there are very mean, and it's a lot of it is just lack of context
Hmm.
for what our livelihoods are actually like. Um, but that is what it is. People are always going to be mad.
I'd rather it have be a place for them to vent than to like, have that spill like on Twitter or something. I wouldn't want that to be somewhere where there's just like a lot of people with their eyes on it. Reddit kind of turns into their own little bubbles and spaces where people can rant about things, and unfortunately, our Reddit subreddit became that. So I don't know. I've just tried to block it out if I can. I've seen some positive things on there sometimes though. They're definitely not by the same people who do the more hateful stuff, but it's just the way it works.
Yeah, it's kind of an echo chamber over there. It's like the same 3 people always making the same complaints. I'm like,
Oh
sorry guys, if we had the magic touch, we would do it.
yeah, I'm doing what I can to help make things a bit more look more lively. I've spoken about before. I want to be able to give some of the load off of John's hands because he's carrying a lot of the channel at the moment. Today a video came out, top 20 top best looking Switch games on the Switch, and those are very nice. Those are very nice to see those on the channel. And just have our new thumbnail up. We see the new intro. The little lower third comes out of the side, this side, and then back out again. I'm just like, we made something nice, but I want to see more people using it, you know?
Yeah, working on the channel is something I want to do more too. But like I've mentioned before, I have my hands in like 7 pots,
Yeah.
and only 2 of those pots are keeping me afloat. It feels like.
Uh, and I'm just trying to survive, honestly. Um, I have to find my own way to kind of support myself on the side too, but at the very least, making these sort of things has been some of the most fulfilling stuff I've done as far as being creative and doing stuff that I can call my own work. Um, but yeah, we're hopefully gonna make this happen in 2023. We'll make something of it, and I think there are some good things on the horizon potentially. We'll see when that happens, but I'm staying positive because I love being here. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I wouldn't want to be doing a arcade stream with anyone else as well. So,
Oh, my heart is a flutter. Same to you, man.
uh,
Honestly, like we've been doomed according to Reddit as many times as Nintendo has been doomed according to the entire internet.
and you know how Nintendo turns out. They have their ups and downs, and I think we will too. Hopefully ups at this point. I see. Is that Wiggles?
That is Wiggles. Hi, Bubba.
Hi Wiggles. I miss you. I took a little video of them while I was here. I haven't showed anyone. Just hanging out, and they were approaching me a little bit. I think they just got comfortable with me being there eventually because I haven't. I've done what you said, Brandon. When they approach, you just don't. You just don't. You let them do their thing, and then they'll eventually become comfortable with you.
Yep, they just have to feel like they aren't threatened in any way. Wiggles, you can't get any closer. Buddy, you're putting your whole head through there. What are you doing? Okay. He's like, I want to hang out, Dad.
Oh, did I
He's
break
waiting.
this?
Oh, he's perched. Okay, you're being real cute right now.
I can't see. Oh well.
Good boy. He's gone. I don't know if I don't know if chat could see any of that, but
No, I think from here I can only see just the fence. I think I broke the background music. I think it was on for a while. Do you hear it?
has it been playing this whole time?
I usually have our little intro playing in the background, but now I don't. I think when the computer glitched out, it stopped. Unless you can hear it, I'm
Oh
going
yeah,
crazy.
I don't hear anything. No.
Oh no. Is that this one? Oh my goodness. The loop turned off. Let me turn that low so no one yells at me for how loud it is.
Well, we appreciate y'all, chat. Like I try to not read YouTube comments or look at the subreddit because words can hurt. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's better just to not look.
I'm so weird because I am fascinated by comments on stuff that I've done personally because I want to know what I've done wrong or what I've done that can be improved upon, and whether or not there's always going to be comments that tell you, "Oh, this sucks and you should stop being content creator" or something like that. I mean, that's always going to be in there. I don't know. Maybe I have thicker skin for this than I think, but I find it fascinating to see what I've done that people like and want to see more of, and what I should probably work on potentially. But yeah, I totally get it if some people want to just not be involved in that. They put it out there, ignore the comments. I think there are some things I avoided actually when I claimed Fire Emblem Engage was gonna have gacha elements to it. I was like, this probably won't end well, and I avoided that. And then it ended up having gacha elements to it, and people told me, how did you do that? It just wasn't what we expected. So, you know.
I think the big thing for me is specifically like with the Game of the Year video, I decided to not read the comments because making a video about your favorite things is just fodder for people to be mad.
Yeah. I always hear at the intro to pretty much every top 10 that Gerard does for his videos. It's his list. You don't have to agree with it, and it's going to be what it is. So, if you don't like it, too bad.
I essentially said the same thing, but apparently it's not enough.
Oh my gosh.
I had folks mad at me for not having God of War on my list, and I'm like, I haven't finished it yet. Give me some time.
And don't worry, we have someone on our list who will or on our panel who absolutely will put God of War on their list.
Oh, Bun is on the cam now. You hanging out on the couch,
Oh,
Bubba?
I see Bun. Hi.
Hi, buddy. He likes to go up there and chew the top of the wood paneling.
Just hopped away. They are indeed plotting something, aren't they?
I always
yeah.
wonder what they're thinking.
Oh, I want to be back in there just hanging out with the buns, playing the entirety of Mario Galaxy as we yell at each other to function the other half side of our brain. That was really funny.
Had to do a lot of exporting for that for the VOD channel, because there was a couple times where my internet crapped out on us and we had to break for a second. So there's like 7 VODs for a stream we did, what, 3 times?
Oh no, that's right, huh?
Yeah.
The But speaking of, yeah, I was there as we slowly started to assemble the VOD channel, and I underestimated how much data and content there is to put on there. It's definitely not like it's definitely not a lot of what we've done as far as, you know, retaining the early streams. There's like bits and pieces of stuff everywhere, but hopefully we'll be able to get that on there soon. I now have access to the VOD channel, so I'm gonna poke in there when I have time and, you know, try and assemble things as I can do. But hopefully sooner than later, we'll have a VOD channel out there for people to just kind of grasp onto and catch up with certain things with.
It's essentially ready to go. Just needs some thumbnails switched out. And a lot of those playthroughs aren't going to be complete. But there's a surprising amount of stuff still there. Sorting through it was kind of difficult. We were like, what part is this?
we were looking through Fire Emblem and we're like, come on, please just say what part it is, and we couldn't parse what part of it was. I just had to guess depending on what portion of the game we were in. But
Spicy, that is the name of the channel. It is Good VODs Gaming.
Yeah, we have Good VODs Gaming. It is coming. It's like they knew.
We're excited to finally have that for you all. Pretty much everything that we've done for like the last 2-3 straight months has been archived.
Well, that's good.
And then quite a bit of our year lineage is still available.
I have,
but a lot of it is missing.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of the like just the art that we use whenever we post we're going live on Twitter. A lot of that has been saved, so I'll be able to kind of just slot that in where we need thumbnails. There's some that I'm probably not gonna have, but I'll figure that out as I go along. It's gonna be something there though. Hopefully that channel stays up, unlike some unfortunate folks who had their VOD channels deleted, as I've just learned today, which is super sad to hear.
Oh yeah, pour one out for Roger. He's having a rough go of it right now.
That sucks. I can't imagine that happening to any of us or just any other. I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone on YouTube. That's terrible.
Yeah, right now I think the channel is back. It came back like 2 nights ago. But he's not able to change any of the names or anything. So like his channel is still not called Roger Space, but it's back and all the videos are there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great because the channel did get terminated.
Yeah,
so
that's scary.
He's very lucky it's back.
Yeah, that crypto bullcrap. That's so stupid. I was actually I was in that seat next to Brandon as I leaned over. I happened to see Roger posting on your Discord, and he's saying that he got hacked. I was like, oh my god, are you kidding me right now?
Oh yeah, he DM'd me and he was like, I'm sure you've seen what happened. And I was like, what are you talking about?
God.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Oh god, I'm so sorry for him.
Oh, I missed this up a little sooner. Eddie saying, he said it before, but I'll say it again. You guys and John have elevated GVG far above what Steve, Ash, and Derek have started. Well, it's funny because John did technically start it, but then he left and donated that channel to GVG for us to build upon. But then he came back, and around the time that he came back, that's when I started to be a little bit more active too. Partially because he was very kind as far as like inspiring me to do a bit more on the channel as time went on. I don't think the Tales of Symphonia video would have happened if it wasn't for John kind of egging me on to make something from that. But yeah, me, John, and Brandon, we feel like we make a good team, especially when we're on discussions together.
Yeah.
There's a very natural energy we have that I always enjoy very much when we're all together. But thank you so much for your very kind words.
And chat has 11 discussions with the three of us to look forward to now,
Yeah,
starting tomorrow.
we've roped John in. I can use the new overlay we have, which isn't really a new overlay. It's just with the logo and the frames are a bit different. But hopefully we'll be able to make something really fun out of those. I'm looking forward to it. To talk about just talk about Pokemon. I will never get too old for Pokemon.
I'm gonna have Pokemon in my life until I die. I'm a lifer at this point.
It's in my blood.
But we appreciate all your support, chat. It's you know, I think it's easy for folks to forget that people on who make things, experience emotion.
We're humans as well. And
Yeah.
we feel things.
Creators are people, man. That is right.
Creators can feel burnout just as much as anybody else. But oh, you guys are so kind. Azura saying you guys and John are honestly the highlight to the channel, in your opinion. Well, that's some very high praise considering the kind of pedigree, that some of these guys on the channel have doing content for years between them. I'm still baby at this, I feel like.
It's still so surreal. Like, I remember we do meetings on Thursday mornings, and I was just in the meeting and Derek started talking, and I started thinking, like, I've been hearing this voice for so much of my life at this point, and for a huge part of it, it was on the other end as a listener. So to be here in this moment right now is truly surreal.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that'll ever wear off for me, to be honest.
That's it was a weird feeling, I think about a year ago. It was one of those meetings for sure, and I think John was part of it too. We were just having a meeting, right? And I think I was working on something on the side because I think it was for stuff for Reset, and I zoned out and I thought I was listening to a discussion on YouTube because how used I am to just hearing that, and I forgot I was in the call as well. And I kind of just they said my name and I kind of just bolted back into existence. I was like, oh, here's this thing. But yeah, to be able to participate in conversations with him as well, because like back then, like high school, college, Daniel didn't talk a lot, didn't have as many friends to talk to as far as gaming interests and all that. I feel like only recently it's become a lot more mainstream to be interested in this kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
I never figured I would have conversations like this with people before, like doing the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet spoiler review, the Xenoblade spoiler review, just going in depth in these kind of topics that I super invest myself into, and yeah, listening to them for so long, and other voices as well. Like obviously we had Rogers Bays, we had Ant Dude for the Pokemon discussion, John with Xenoblade. Like these are voices I've listened to for a very long time, and there is that starstruck feeling you get at first, but then after a while it kind of like, yeah, they're just people as well. We're talking to other people who have the same interests as all of us, and we all have a unique perspective to give and say, and that's not just us, but everyone who is involved in that conversation as well. People who watch us, people who comment, people who share our stuff, they all have a unique perspective and comment on this sort of stuff, and it's cool to see that kind of meld together into its own conversation.
Yeah. It's weird, man.
Yeah, that's the long and short of what I just said. It's weird to be in that situation, but also very thankful too. I still don't understand how I got here, but I'm glad I'm here.
Oh yeah, imposter syndrome is a big thing. Something I've struggled with for a long time.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
I've been making videos since I was 14, and I'm 20, almost 29.
half your life.
You don't ever get over it. You don't. It's forever.
I was, yeah, only a baby learning graphic design in high school, and I posted a picture of me holding the plaque where we got the 100,000 subscribers on Facebook. I hardly go there anymore. I've go there once in a blue moon, but I posted that there because I was curious what my professors from Media Communications Academy in high school, or MCA, is where I learned all my introductory stuff to Adobe Creative Suite with like animation, graphic design, video production. And then they reached out and they said, hey, we're gonna have alumni and other people in February come by and just talk about how they've used what they've learned to apply this stuff in real life. And I remember back then in those schools when we have alumni for like already in college and such. I was a sophomore in that year, talking to us about the stuff that they've done, like animation, storyboarding for a movie. I was like, holy crap, this is huge. And to be in that spot now potentially is really surreal. I need to have something ready to show if that does happen, because now it's a month from now. But yeah, it's super cool to see where we go from there. And I'm sure I've seen some of your early stuff, Brandon, now that you showed me while I was there, and I'm like, man, we really go a long way forward from where we start.
I showed him one of the machinima I did. I think I had to have been like 15, 16 at the time. Had Sean Shiplock in it, who you might know as Rivali in Breath of the Wild, among many, many other roles at this point.
That amazes me, dude. You're gonna follow the same path now. You two are gonna voice in something together one day.
Brandon Bovia, the YouTube algorithm, started showing me Breakroom Arcade videos recently. Wow. I started Breakroom Arcade in 2016. And I had been making videos myself since 2008. So 8 years into doing this stuff, I started a YouTube channel. It was directly inspired by, what I was seeing at Game Explain at the time, what would now be Good Vibes Gaming. And I don't know, it offered me a lot of time to kind of find my voice, figure out what I excel at. One thing I've always thought I was fairly good at was being on camera. And some of you said that about the Goaty video, so thank you for that. Gave me a little room to practice, as well with some of my friends that I did the channel with. I look very fondly on those years, because Breakroom Arcade is like my baby. Good Vibes Gaming is this collective, right? Mm-hmm. And it is my baby in another way, right? It's all of our baby. But Breakroom Arcade is a very special place in my heart because it was my brainchild. It was something I wanted to do, and for me, it's always been difficult to have an idea, get started, and actually go through with it without psyching myself out or telling myself I'm not good enough and then just giving up. Breakroom Arcade I ended up doing for X amount of years and just doing it and finally getting over that hurdle in my brain that was telling me that I'm not cut out for this. And I found myself kind of regressing a little bit as I've spent more of my time working on other people's videos. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little out of practice doing my own thing. But it is a hurdle you can overcome. You just gotta do it. I need to say that to myself. Just do it. Just do it.
Do it. Ah, yeah. I resonate with that.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Don't let your dreams be memes. Make them come true.
Yeah.
That resonates with me a whole lot because obviously I was only doing graphic design for a pretty long time. And like Evernight Studio is the name that I made because I moved on from doing just, things named on Night Tide was the old name. If I named it as a studio, maybe it'll have a bit more of an official, professional looking full to it. And that's when I started on Twitter, basically. When Smash Brothers Ultimate was announced, I started to do mobile backgrounds of my favorite characters, and then they look very different to what they look like now. At a certain point, that's how I started to get noticed and retweeted and shown a lot more around. So most of my growth came from that and just doing other wallpapers like for Genshin and such. But at that certain point, I did everything I could possibly do for Smash. And then major games like Persona 5, they kind of helped to shape the graphic design style I have now. You might see it around here. The games like Persona 5, the very solid line, bold aesthetic you see in games like the old Sonic games, and they also do that with Mania as well. Very fun shapes and colors and such. Those all help to kind of establish the style that I have now. And then, yeah, with Good Vibes, I kind of just applied that there. It kind of fit the aesthetic that I felt like they were going for, that I felt. I told Brandon one day we're gonna have everyone just kind of watch and react to the very first TNT episode, because I want to see everyone's reaction to that.
Oh my god.
Because at this point, almost everything that I've done now with the rebranding, now I've pretty much taken over the channel as far as the overall look, for the vast majority of it now. But yeah, that was a time to be a part of the community, get involved, and just be a part of this now in a much larger way. I don't know what I would be doing right now. I would be sad somewhere, not getting my creative juices flowing as much as I have now, because this has definitely helped me break out of being just I was tired of just being shy, so I decided I'm just gonna be a little bit more, do more things out of my comfort zone. That's where the 5 years of Switch in 5 minutes came from, just doing something, and people were like, you should do more stuff, and I told myself I want to do more stuff. I had a long lull in between that from the next stuff, but I think I'm finding a bit more of a pace now, and doing that stuff creatively and seeing people react positively, especially when there was a lot of pressure at first, because there's a pedigree of videos by John and Derek that I find to be very high, and I wanted to match that as well as I could, and I still do. There's a video I'm doing now, it's coming out next week, that I'm very much in the trenches with, that I'm gonna make sure is pretty much as much produced as it's the Pokemon trading card game video was. And like for guys on the team, it's just another video for them when they work on something. It's probably just another video, but for me it's a big deal because I'm building up this kind of portfolio of stuff that I want to show people that I can do, and do research, capture footage, capture my audio. It's much better audio now with this microphone. On camera, off camera, all that kind of stuff. Just a melding of ideas using graphics to help supplement that or complement that. It's been a process, and I'm glad I have people like those guys and Brandon here to help me figure things out as I do it. Because as you mentioned earlier, it's a lot easier when you have people doing the same work as you than if you did it all by yourself and kind of just figure it out on your own. There's a much better way to ease yourself into it when you have a family of people to help, like, get you over the finish line like that.
Yeah. You know, for a long time I've been... Oh, my eye is irritated. Sorry, chat.
And thank you everyone in chat for your very kind words. You're the ones that help inspire me to keep doing these things. So I hope the things that I make will be living up to those expectations. And if not, I'm gonna keep trying.
We can be our own worst critics.
Oh yeah.
And it's so much easier when we have people around us that are doing the same things like us in this little GVG bubble to say, no, you're stupid. Stop being so critical of yourself. I'm gonna smack you. Because sometimes it can be so hard to just not look at what you've done and say, this sucks. But you're not being like rational when you're doing that. You're being completely irrational because you want your stuff to be, you know, as good as it can possibly be. And you're going to see things that people will never notice or will not think about when they watch back.
That's me. Or no, that's me with that commenter saying how Brandon's very natural on camera. I want to work on that kind of presence as well, because he has a that air about him in the Goaty video is very natural, even with just your setup, very cozy and inviting. And you need to teach me how to be that pleasant.
It's it's kind of weird. I don't know quite how to describe it. It's when I'm on camera, I just pretend it's not me. I just pretend that I'm somebody else. Like, I'm not Brandon Miracle the guy. I'm Brandon Miracle the guy on camera. So it's like I'm embodying another person, and for whatever reason, that makes me feel more comfortable when I'm performing. And I treat it more like performance.
Oh, for sure. I think
I don't know
maybe I need
if
to
I
do that too.
explain that well or not.
No, it's just something that's hard to describe, because it is a performance. You are trying to speak to not just one person, but essentially it's the whole audience of people who are going to see this. But usually I don't see it that way. I try to just, I guess at this point, I'm just looking at the camera and I'm just like, okay, I'm talking to myself, essentially. I don't know if that makes any sense too. It's hard to describe when you're kind of not in that, when you're not in the position to comment on yourself just yet. I think other people will view it and then they'll be able to describe how they feel about you talking to them in that certain way. Maybe they'll get the sense that you are speaking to them directly, or they're just talking to just a camera or to themselves. Trying to figure out my balance with that as well, and it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
Sometimes you just have to, I guess, for a lack of a better term, be shameless. Be willing to let yourself just fully dive into what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care if there's anybody around you. Just become who you need to be in that moment.
Oh yeah. There's definitely that in the. I mentioned on a tweet I said earlier. I had to scream for a part of the video I'm recording, and I'm just like, it just feels. It's silly in the moment, but it very much expresses how I feel about something during that set given part of the script. But yeah, it's if you're being natural about it, I think it shows much more than if you're trying to force it. So
I'm also like, for me, I like to talk with my hands. And sometimes
same.
it's hard to rein that in when I get going. But for a while, I just started realizing I just need to lean into that. If that's who I am, that's just what I'm gonna do, right?
Yeah, we all have our character traits that just kind of we don't discover until we do this a lot, and then once you do it, you just kind of lean into it, and people are more likely than they just like who you are. The people who watch you for you, and as long as you're not forcing something, things can feel very natural.
Brandon Bovius says my annoying habit is that I close my eyes when I'm thinking. My annoying habit is that I and when I'm thinking, and that's something I've tried very hard to break out of. It takes practice.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to cut that off. I think I'm doing a little better. I think my thing is not focusing on the thing I'm looking at. So looking to the camera can be kind of a challenge, because I want to look elsewhere while I'm talking about something, because I'm just, it's hard for me to make eye contact, I guess, all the time. And that's
why I kind of like, whenever I script a video that I'm going to be on camera for, I will script it out very, very generally. And then just ad-lib the entire thing. That's what I did with my Goaty videos. A lot of my Break Room Arcade videos are like that, because I feel like I just come off more natural when I'm speaking off the top of my head. So what generally ends up happening is I will do an entire take of the entire video, and now I'll have an idea of how I want to phrase certain things, and then I'll do it a second time, and the second time is very concise usually.
Yeah, you told me about that process, and I'm just like, maybe I should do something like that too. So I have a general list of what I want to say, but then when I try to reiterate that, I don't know if I'm just scrambling all the words in my head or something, but it takes a while for me to just get that out there. You don't see that when I'm editing, but you'll probably see the cuts. You'll see the cuts, but I'm making it so that it's still cohesive enough and smooth enough that it's not that much of a distraction. But I want to be able to do that more smoothly for sure, more naturally at some point.
Oh yeah, this is just the method I found that works for me. I know Derek specifically is like very by the book, scripted out, and that's the way that works for him. But we all have our own methods. Like, I think John does script. I don't know how much he ad libs, but I think he does a little bit. We just all have our different ways that we go about it.
Yeah, there's no right or wrong way. I'm pretty sure John, he just did his entirety of the game of the year just ad-libbing it, just kind of off the top of his head. That was the second time he did the take though, I think. The first time was just maybe he was rambling a lot for the first one, and then the second one just turned out a lot more natural. I gotta arrange my thoughts first apparently before I speak. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, I get that feeling. Like, I know what I want to say, I just can't get it to come out of my mouth in a way that makes any sense.
Oh, that's a story of my life.
I want to say, I can't remember if I dreamt this up or if I'm gaslighting myself, but I'm pretty sure NVIDIA announced a thing for NVIDIA Broadcast that changes your eyes to be looking at the camera.
Oh. That sounds familiar, actually. Just auto adjust your eyes to always look at the camera. That's pretty funny, but also it sounds very useful.
Let's see.
Oh god, I don't have a.
It's called NVIDIA Maxine.
Oh.
It's coming to broadcast. It's the Eye Contact AI update.
So funny.
For me, being a filmmaker and doing commercial and all that stuff that I did for so long, maintaining eye contact with the camera is just something that I just do because when I work, that's the problem with being an editor and being a producer. You think from the other side of the project. Like, whenever I'm recording something, I am always thinking about the edit first. Like, am I gonna hate myself if I record this with the way this looks right now? Because I don't want to do that to myself. So I'm very like big on glancing at the camera, saying something, and then when I'm explaining myself, then I start to drift away as I gather my thoughts.
That's me. That's essentially me. You see it in the videos that I do now. I try to focus, and then I start off focusing, and then you kind of see me just kind of lean off to this way, I look down a little bit more, just to kind of keep myself not from looking like a stale piece of bread staring the entire time without any movement whatsoever. But
it's
yeah, it's
just kind of something that comes naturally. It's something I think Antude's very good at. He will look in the camera, say something, and then he'll make a joke, and he'll go over here and say it this way.
Yeah, he's got a very good structure.
You can see it happening in real time when you watch him. Watch his videos, and you'll see it.
He's got.
Don't tell him I outed his secret though.
We're watching you, all 40 of you. Don't you spread the word. These are all the behind the background curtains secrets happening right now.
Let's see. Off topic, but does anyone know what's going on with 8-bits and what's that track? I need to work on 8-bits. That is my bad. It kind of fell off because I had Daniel over and we focused on doing things instead of me working on 8-bits by myself.
I'm always the problem. My episode of 8-bits was held back because I was sick during that time when I was recording it. And the Zelda episode came out a bit later than I anticipated. But then John got another one out in like a week because he's John and he has that kind of power. And now we're passing the torch off to Brandon to do one.
And to follow up on the rest of that question, and what's that track? We are trying to schedule one. We have one in particular we've been trying to do. We've just been running into a little scheduling conflict, but it's planned.
It's planned?
The episode we want to do is planned.
It is planned, and we just very recently started to figure out who we're gonna reach out to for future episodes. So you can.
There's one in particular I'm quite excited about if we can make it happen.
Me too. I think we're thinking of the same one.
Hmm.
So keep your eyes out for that. We'll let you know when What's That Track, the next episode, is gonna happen. But hopefully it's soon. We haven't forgotten about it this time. We are just actively trying to make multiple schedules work at the same time.
The one and only time we did GVG Versus was one of the most nightmarish scheduling things I've ever experienced.
Because we needed
so
8 people.
getting 8 content creators in the same room at the same time is hard. It doesn't happen. So yeah, just getting 2 people to be available at the same time has been difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not me complaining or blaming the people, by the way. Let me make that very clear.
Oh, it's just a natural thing of everyone is on their own schedule.
Yeah,
and
it's just
hours.
circumstance. Oh my god, I'm getting the hiccups.
Oh my
What
goodness.
did I do?
Have you had any? I'm surprised you haven't had your lunch on stream where we're not actually playing a game this time.
I've not eaten yet today, but I haven't felt especially hungry, so I guess I'm just fine.
Moon Knight saying 8 YouTubers enter a bar. That happened in at PAX. Just a bunch of YouTubers in a bar. It gets crazy.
We were at the bar right after Xeon's Earthbound video, or Earthbound documentary premiere. Well, I guess it wasn't a premiere; it was already out, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very loud in there.
Oh yeah. That's where I got to talk to some people that I haven't made contacts with before. I got to talk with Derek and Grace from Soft Skeletons, and I do some thumbnail work for them now too. I guess we're all taking kind of a break right now because I haven't done much. It's January, so it just falls in line with the scheduling of YouTubers kind of take a bit of a break in January.
Well, Vash, we wouldn't get a drink with you, but we'll be there. Derek and Daniel are kind of the outsiders, because we don't really drink that much.
Oops.
Or me at all, and Daniel I don't think either.
I that's not my thing, because obviously me and Brandon have to keep the same wavelength, so we don't drink. But Steve, you can definitely get one with Steve. He will be more than happy to with Steve and Ash.
And Ash.
Yeah.
They will drink with you to the ends of the earth.
They will not
Based
stop.
on some of the stories I've heard.
I am looking forward to E3 to see what kind of insane shenanigans happen from that and the others that we meet up with there too.
E3 I know is going to be 80 times more busy than PAX was, because it is going to be appointment. Get the videos out. Appointment. Get the videos out. Sleep for 2 hours. Appointment.
It's going to be busy, but if that's what it's going to be, to feel like as close as we can have, like having a studio together, working in the same room on the same things at the same time on the show floor, then I am down to have that experience no matter how much energy it takes out of me.
I just wish we could have like a studio to do the work in. Like working out of a hotel room sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah. I saw it was Xeon was there with a partner from Nintendo Life as well. I was in their room for a little bit, retrieving something, and they just have a whole computer in there. They brought the whole tower with the screen just to do basic video editing stuff with. And then we thought, yeah, we should probably have something like that too.
I've been telling Steve that we need to do that, because it makes it a lot harder for me to get videos done on a laptop that takes 7 times as long for me to edit on.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully that can improve. Sumo asking, is E3 still public? Yes and no. The first 2 days of E3 will be for workers, professionals only, and then the second 2 days, or I guess it's only 3 days. Maybe it's just the first day and then the following 2 days is public. It's something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Will there be any more GVG After Darks? I'm sure. We tried to minimize it last PAX, because the packs before that we did it so much it was exhausting. Just to be completely honest, it made it hard to have the energy to get work done because we were just dead.
Yeah, I think Steve slept through a straight GVG After
An,
Dark
ent-
while we did one.
an entire stream, yeah. And that's what I wanted to do. I looked over there longingly and I was like, I want to sleep.
Oh man. Like how
Yeah.
oh yeah. And Eddie's saying, is Chicken Review dead? I have no idea what was gonna become. Well, I don't know what kind of grandiose scheme Steve had for that. Or if it's
I've
still
seen some scripts.
It's more than what I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the person to ask on that one.
I'm gonna just chalk it up to vaporware at the moment. Vapor content for right now. I don't know what's gonna happen with that.
Chickenware.
Chickenware. Well, they should have got the KFC console out. That would have been something to help keep the interest alive. But well, what can you do?
Is what it is. I got some other videos I want to do. I have videos I need to finish because I put too much pressure on myself and I give myself videos that are way too much work. Like Daniel was over here and one of them just fell apart before our eyes as we were trying to make it happen.
I felt bad. I couldn't really do much in that situation because I didn't really have any frame of reference for the materials we were working with. But we did one at least. That's just one that has to get edited down and then put on the channel. So I'm glad we did some kind of progress while I was there.
We didn't record anything for it, but we did some stuff that will help me work on a different video that I wanted to do.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Which is a whole series of videos I want to do, but
We got
I
all
just want to get
kinds
the first one out.
We've got all kinds of series in our heads thinking about. We thought of a series as I was being driven to the airport back on the way home.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one, I think. I hope you guys like it. I should probably get a head start on that one soon.
Yeah, once I'm more or less done with the one I'm doing now, I need to write up a document for things like that, or secret things. But yeah, it's also lines up with the collaborative projects we want to do together as well, and that'll definitely lend a hand into it.
Yeah, I think you guys will like it. Steve is working on some videos. He mentioned a couple today, and I think they'll be out within the month, so you can look forward to those.
Mm-hmm.
No spoilies on what it is.
Well, he mentioned one on the last GVG cast, I think, that he wanted to do. Like his favorite game of the month. Yeah, he definitely mentioned that on GVG cast because he mentioned that on his game of the year, and then he wants to bring that into fruition. So we'll see what he does with that in the near future, because I'm curious to see us do more videos, just in general, but also together collectively.
Yeah. Vash is asking, like in John's top 3 video, do you know if he goes and gets his own gameplay footage, or is it a mix of trailer footage and his own? I think his was largely trailer footage. Mine was almost entirely trailer footage except for Tunic. Tunic was all recorded. Joe actually recorded it for me. It wasn't me.
Oh, nice.
I asked her if she would do that for me, and she did. What about yours? Did you record for yours?
Mine was 100% all me capturing my own footage in my Game of the Year video.
It just depends on what the video is. For me, capturing things that aren't on Switch is basically impossible because it's all I've got. I mean, I have a PS5, but it's the way it's configured upstairs. I can't really bring it down here. So if I record anything for PS5, I have to remote play to my computer and then screen record it, which is not ideal. But there are a lot of channels like Long Play Archive or World of Long Plays that have full playthroughs of all kinds of games, that lots of YouTubers will just use videos from there. With the couple episodes we did of Search Action, I did that quite a bit whenever Derek would talk about a different game that wasn't the subject of the video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that just makes more sense. I don't know. I think I feel comfortable just capturing what I want to when it comes to this, and also just capturing footage that you don't see all the time in trailers and such, just making it a little bit more interesting that way. I've done that with most of the stuff that I've done on this channel so far. I learned a lot about capturing footage when I did the Tales of Symphonia, because I had to jump on the PS4 to get that version. Oh no, the PS3 to get that version, and I needed an adapter to make that work. And then just also
The HD copy protection.
yeah, that, and then for the GameCube, like natively from the GameCube, there's an adapter for HDMI, which made it look way better than whatever I had beforehand. Yeah, I'm thankful that despite my situation, everything's kind of just boxed and clumped together right here, so I can capture it easily.
I should clarify though that when I am working on like a review, like the Monster Hunter reviews I did, for instance, I recorded a couple hours of my playthroughs initially of those games, but I found what I ended up doing was during the edit process, like I would have a line of dialogue, I'd know what I'd want to show, and I would have the game open right next to me, and I would record that bit, put that bit in, and I did that all the way through because I had very specific things I needed to show, and I was like, God damn it, I'm just gonna record each one bit by bit all the way to the end. And I find that to be a pretty effective method. Back when I made Machinima, I worked that way too. I'd have the editor open, and then Game Capture open next to me, and record exactly what I needed when I needed it.
I see. I should probably adapt that a bit more myself, because I tend to just record a mass of things if I can. Like if I know something is coming up that I want to have recorded, I'll capture that, and then I know in the script somewhere I'll have a place to put that. But I definitely have much more footage than I need than what I'm gonna probably end up using. But it is better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
I have like a third of my entire Dragon Quest X playthrough recorded, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this, but I have it if I ever need it.
Eddie's asking,
what happens when you need a specific scene? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, I was gonna read that out too.
From a 60+ hour RPG, download save files.
Yeah.
Just gonna throw that out there. They're online. You can find them.
Don't be afraid to do that. Or if you know we're gonna do it in advance, what I should have done for another video is just have multiple save files, so I can just jump back to a certain point if I need to.
Don't play 45 hours of an RPG to get one video of one line of dialogue. It's not worth your time. No one will care in the end.
That's almost what I'm doing.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, don't. Luckily I have like a speed up feature, and I use some cheats to kind of help me get forward. You just won't see those cheats being used within the footage itself. But work around it if you can somehow. You can definitely find ways to do so.
Shell Shock asking, do you guys ever make a backup recording for the Twitch VODs? There is a VOD channel. It's not out there for you guys yet, but it does exist.
It is cooking.
And there's like 40+ VODs on it ready to go.
Yeah, we have it cooking. The most recent videos that we've done on Twitch are going to be on there as well. I feel bad for the Mario Galaxy one that just got butchered into so many parts.
They're still at least an hour long a piece.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll have playlists for that so we can keep it nice and organized. But yeah.
And I don't like using our Twitch footage usually for like videos later on, because, you know, they're going to be compressed because of the stream. But not only that, we have it in a smaller window because of our stream overlay. So it ends up being even more compressed if you use it in a video.
Mm-hmm.
And just not quite what I'm looking for. But that's just me being picky.
Yeah, I would record something full screen on my monitor or from my capture card. Much more preferable. It just looks better. I have this threshold of quality that I want to adhere to make sure that things come out looking and sounding as best as they can to my ability. And but yeah, I think we have like we save a lot of our footage too for all the other guys to use, so that hopefully doesn't come into an issue very often.
Oh yeah, we've made a library. We just have a library of everything we've ever recorded that just keeps getting added to.
I
Because
need
we
to
have infinite Google Drive space.
I need to add stuff to that. Some of the stuff that I do too, because I don't want to just, if someone needs that footage, I want to have it there for someone to use as well.
Eddie's asking, if you had all the money and people power, what kind of game would you create based off of any anime of your choice? I would make the Naruto equivalent of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but a more polished, high-quality game than even that.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh gosh. You answered that too quickly.
I just knew in my heart what I wanted.
What game would I create based off any anime of my choice? I'm gonna need a moment for that one. There's a lot of anime that I enjoy, that I watch, but also some that already have a game adaptation that some are better than others. As I'm sure you can attest to.
I do like the Storm games, Vash. But I would just like something that's more RPG, like Kakarot.
Mm-hmm. Low Dingo says a good idea. A game based on Pokemon might be cool.
Wow.
I don't know. I
I
think
don't think it'd work.
I think you'll have to really pitch that one to Nintendo for them to decide if that'll work. Oh, make something on Sailor Moon. I think there has been Sailor Moon. There's been several Sailor Moon fighting games in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Some that are really good, but get Arc System Works to make like a more recent title. Have the Sailor Moon, all the Senshi, have some of the villains in there as well. Some of the maybe more popular villains that you've seen in the past, and then make a fighting game out of that. That'd be awesome. I would absolutely play that.
Taco My Salad saying Dragon Ball Z Sagas 2. No. Don't meme. That game's garbage.
No. Oh my god.
Oh, we got a Clash of Ninja fan in here. Oh my god. After my own heart. That's a video that will get done, but I need to do some shorter ones beforehand. My script is like 12 pages long, and it's not even
God.
done.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be like an hour, maybe hour and a half long at this rate.
Good lord. I'm excited. I'm excited to see more Brandon Productions on here.
You would 100% full completion Dragon Ball Z Sagas with me? I mean, I'd play it for the memes. That game is so bad and broken.
We're also talking about a Trigun game. Yeah, why hasn't that gotten a video yet? An adaptation yet? I wonder.
With Stampede just starting, it'd be a good time for it.
Mm-hmm.
There was just an anime adaptation announced for Toriyama's Sandland, which he did, I think, in early 2000s, like 2006 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like post Dragon Ball Z, and it never got an anime adaptation, and it's finally getting one, which is very cool.
Wow. Yeah.
It has connections to the Dragon Ball universe because the main character is Beelzebub, a demon, and his father is Deborah from the Boo Saga.
Huh?
I don't know if it's like actually Deborah or if it just looks like Deborah, but it's clearly Deborah.
It's got that face.
The whole design, it's just Deborah.
Oh, okay. It's just it's everything.
But it's like post-apocalyptic Earth. Like the Earth is covered in desert now, and humans have to learn to live together with demons, which is pretty neat. It's a very, very short manga. You can probably read it in an afternoon. Yeah, there's a weird recommendation for you, just out of left field.
Oh, there's something here actually. Hold on. Let me check. Because Stacy UK is saying, I would like to talk about accessibility in gaming more if I could find an outlet, but your main console is Switch. I checked not too long ago. Let me move my tabs over here. Oh, I'm on the wrong YouTube channel. I got all switched around. I just watched the video that Sakurai did on accessibility in games like The Last of Us Part 1. Pretty much
Oh yeah.
Sakurai is the only man who can do like a let's play of menus and options and still make it super interesting. But
I love him.
the accessibility options in that game are amazing. And stuff I never even thought about. Certainly things that we should, like, developers should be thinking more of as we move forward to like consoles and controllers that have more complicated configurations. Like the PS5 has a very interesting, like, sundial accessibility controller
yeah.
that I don't even know. I don't have the capacity to understand how that works. But even just in-game options like what Sakurai showed in The Last of Us, from color accessibility, sound, being able to have visuals be smaller, larger, and then things like playing the game with the controller if it was upside down or on the side, like being able to configure the game to function like that. I've never thought about things like that before, and I'm sure there are people out there who can make use of that, but just things that I've never seen before in accessibility options is really wild to see, and I hope we see more of that going forward, because there's definitely some games that benefit from that more than others.
I think that's the way the industry is leaning, as we see more hardware and more software available for all that kind of thing. Which is great. Chat, we should probably wrap it up here. I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, I've seen that we've gone for a little more than 2 hours now, but it's been nice to just chat.
Yeah, it's good to just get with you guys and just talk about how things are going.
Yeah, we can do this more often, every now and then when we feel like we can just, decompress a little bit, see what we're up to.
We'll be back on Tuesday. We're playing... I don't even think I want to tell you what we're playing. We're just going to be playing something you guys aren't expecting on Tuesday. We'll be joined by Joe, who did our 3D animation. You've seen her on this channel quite a bit, actually.
The GVG. Very well animated.
And we'll be joined by Vash, who you can see in the chat right now.
Hello. Yeah.
So we'll let you guys know what that is when we get there.
Yeah. And I guess I'll go ahead and start my own solo streams on Saturday. So that's when you can expect this to happen. I will announce the time on the, I guess we'll do that on the GVG Twitter account, well in advance, so that I can make sure you guys don't miss out on that. But hopefully we'll have some people there to watch that too. I'll be continuing Paper Mario and working my way through that so I can play Engage when it comes out very soon.
And I don't know if it'll be this Sunday, but I do want to start streaming on Sundays, not overlapping with Derek. It'll either be Monster Hunter Frontier or Dragon Quest X Online version 2. So if you want to see that game through the lens of someone who speaks English, then your chance is coming. But for now, I actually have somewhere special I'm going to send you all. I just got to get this loaded up so I can do it. Give me a second.
Are you throwing us now?
We are going to send you over to Bandai Namco, because my very good friend... Uncle Silver again?
What are you doing?
I was literally about to raid somebody else.
Uncle Silver with the raid of 15. Hi, everyone. We just about wrapped up our chat, but we will have a VOD of it if you want to see all the nonsense we talked about on here. We're gonna... Brandon was describing to us somewhere special we're sending you. So I guess you're gonna have to join them.
So, we are sending you to Bandai Namco US because my very good friend Reagan is on their stream right now playing One Piece Odyssey.
Oh, nice.
So, she's a special guest over there. Please go show her some love.
Please do.
And we will be back once again on Tuesday. Thank you, Uncle Silver, and all you folks. If you like Reagan or One Piece, just follow along the train. And and y'all can have a good time over there.
Have you hopping around, yeah. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. I'll see you probably Saturday, so it'll be a good time.
All right, everybody.
All right.
See you next time.
We meet again.
And away they go.
Such immaculate timing.
It's gonna keep happening.